You know what's really funny? The Vancouver Canucks have Kevin Lankinen on their payroll. They have Thatcher Demko on their payroll as well. And they also have Nikita Tolopilo. Next season, the Canucks are going to be spending $13 million total on goaltending, split between these three guys. And after a game like tonight, against the Calgary Flames, Saturday night, and we're in the spot, don't believe me, just watch. The Vancouver Canucks have lost 7-3 versus Calgary in Calgary. And what a fun goaltending showdown this was. Nikita Tolopilo ended up getting the start. The first start for Tolopilo in what feels like months. Adam Foote, earlier this week, had himself a very strange amount of comments talking about his reluctance to give starts to Nikita Tolopilo. The last time the guy got a start was March 14th against the Seattle Kraken. How many games had the Canucks played since then, huh? There had been a bunch of them, and it was Kevin Lankinen getting the start every single time. This idea that Adam Foote spoke about in the media that says, oh, we want to give this team the best chance there is to win, and Kevin Lankinen is the guy that we believe to help them do that, etc., etc. Well, that argument falls apart quickly when you just look at the overall wins and the losses. It's like, Kevin Lankinen has been starting all these games. It's not like he's won any of them, really. Loss against Tampa, loss against St. Louis, loss against Anaheim, loss against LA, and it's like, it's been 2, 3, 4 games in a row. Finally, it's time to give Nikita Tolopilo a start. And then Nikita Tolopilo lets in 4 goals on 11 shots against. And for a lot of Canucks fans, I understand there's this sentiment going around that says, oh, damn it, now Adam Foote has reason to back up the thinking that he had earlier this week. He said in the media, yeah, we think Lankinen can help us do what we need to do to get results, and we want to have that momentum. Building momentum. Nikita Tolopilo needs to be better. And then Tolopilo gets his first game back, and that's what happens. It's like, okay, now Adam Foote has reason to back up that thought process even more. And if everything works out the rest of the way that we think it could, I mean, the Canucks have 10 games left. Nikita Tolopilo might not get a start anymore. He might be done for the season. That is, with the exception of a Kevin Lankinen pulling scenario, which I do think is also possible. Never say never, folks, right? But ultimately, the Canucks lose 7-3. Kevin Lankinen comes in relief. He lets in 3 goals on 12 shots against, so both Canucks goaltenders just inadequate. And I'm not going to say fully that it's like, oh, these guys are so talentless and they don't belong in the NHL. I will fully acknowledge the fact that the Vancouver Canucks did not give Tolopilo nor Lankinen a lot of the best coverage on these plays. I mean, shots and rebounds and no Canucks in front to clear the puck, and guys are able to get tips from long range, and there's nobody really boxing them out. I mean, the Joel Farabee tip right in front. Who was that Canuck that was on him that just kind of let him tip the puck by Nikita Tolopilo? It was, 24? Who's that? Zeev Buium? Yeah, it's Zeev Buium. Unfortunate. He got an assist today, but whatever. Even the last-second goal on the power play scored by Adam Klapka, of all people, the gigantic freak of nature that is Adam Klapka on the Calgary Flames, going out there, driving the net and just shoving it up high on Kevin Lankinen to end off the hockey game. I mean, defensive breakdowns galore. Vancouver has not been good at supporting their goaltenders from an on-ice play point of view. But still, I'm looking at this game, and I'm looking at what happened in the game, and I'm saying to myself, if there genuinely are teams around the National Hockey League that are looking at Kevin Lankinen and saying, yeah, we kind of want that guy. Hey, take your pick, eh? This guy can be yours for the ripe old price of a second or even a first-round pick. There are a number of options for Vancouver if they really wanted to force this guy out. Now, I know all the stuff that we had spoken about earlier in today's show. The fact is, Kevin Lankinen is in Vancouver. He signed to be in Vancouver. He wants to be in Vancouver. And if you were to ask him, hey, do you want out? He'll probably say no. He's committed to being on this team with this group of guys in this environment. He wants to help cultivate a winning future. And that's pretty great, you know? We love to see guys that enjoy being Canucks because that seems few and far between these days. But for Kevin Lankinen, if there genuinely is interest around the National Hockey League, would you not try to convince this guy and say, hey, you know, there's a really good team in the Central Division. They've got a spot. They want you. There is an opportunity for you to go to a cup contender and not stick around here in Vancouver for the next few years. You also have pretty decent money in your contract, so we would be okay with moving you, but you, please, let us make this trade. Kevin Lankinen has trade protection, but as we've been seeing over the past few years, players are becoming a lot easier to waive it, even if they committed to staying with the teams that they signed with in the first place. So, hey, you know, Calgary going out there and lighting up Tolopilo and Lankinen. A part of me does wonder, like, hey, Tolopilo, even though he has shown flashes of being all right, he's definitely not like a full-time NHL backup at this stage of his career. Based off of what he is in this moment, he's not an NHL backup full-time. He does need some time to develop and grow. But what I also do want to argue is the idea that if the Vancouver Canucks were to trade away Kevin Lankinen, let's say Demko never comes back. Let's just assume the worst-case scenario for this guy. His career is over. If the Canucks go Braden Holtby or Jaro Halak mode in free agency, they sign some older, aging guy to a one-year deal that's pretty chunky, like $4 or $5 million a year, and they're just like, hey, okay, split the load with this young guy, Nikita Tolopilo. Would that not set the Vancouver Canucks up for a better opportunity at getting a high draft pick again next year? Long-term thinking, folks. That's exactly what we're doing. Don't go out there and try to get the best option available. Just allow yourself to go through some growing pains. I think that's pretty reasonable, isn't it? With that said, we actually have some Canucks goals to talk about in this game, too. It was all started by Liam Ohgren towards the end of the first period, as Elias Pettersson does a really nice little through-the-legs blind backhand pass over to Linus Karlsson, who drives the right side and then centers it for Liam Ohgren right out in front. It's Ohgren from Karlsson from Pettersson. It is a Swede to Swede to Swede. There's some pretty good chemistry going on with these guys, man. Elias Pettersson then gets his second assist of the game towards the halfway part of the second period, as Pettersson goes over to Brock Besser on the power play. Besser then throws it towards the goal, and it's Jake DeBrusk who tips it in right out in front. 16th goal on the season. The movement with the power play? Honestly, pretty solid. Phil Hronek, Marco Rossi, these guys are looking pretty comfortable, just moving and developing chemistry with each other. It's a pretty nice dynamic, I would say, and there seems to be more joy with the team nowadays, especially since I think they've all internally accepted that, yeah, our team sucks, bro. Like, anything that we can get, we just want to stack our stats as much as we can. That's totally fine, and then they can all celebrate afterwards. In the third period, Vancouver gets another one, making it 6-3. It is Nils Hoglander off of a really nice play from Victor Mancini and Zeev Bouillon. Bouillon goes over to Mancini on the left, Mancini out in front, and Hoggy in the slot gets his stick on it. The puck goes up and over the goaltender, Dustin Wolf. That's Hoglander's second goal of the year. This guy had 20 a few years ago, man. Like, what the hell happened? Adam Foote really just doesn't like this dude, doesn't he? From a 20-goal scorer to a 2-goal scorer within the span of 2 years, although I understand Hoglander missed like 40 games on the season, so it's not really all too comparable there. But either way, the Canucks lost 7-3. Lots of Calgary offense, and a lot of questions for Vancouver goaltending heading into the next little while here. I gotta say it one more time before we end off this video. Kevin Lankinen has gotta go. I don't think the guy inspires confidence in anybody, even though the Canucks are not great in front of him. If there is a market for this guy, like there seems to be, why not take advantage of it? Thoughts in the comment section below about this Canucks and Flames game. I hope you enjoyed this video. Sign on. And bye.